Hello, students, and welcome to the importance slash benefits of attending college webinar. We are pre-recording this webinar, and it's going to be sent to you guys. Let's get started. So let's meet the counselors who were in collaboration for this webinar. We have Mr. Buldenko, that is me. I am the high school counseling assistant. I work with some of you guys as your acting counselor. Um, I will be presenting the webinar, and we have Ms. Benedict and Ms. Vogler. They are not on this recording. However, I just wanted to introduce you guys to them, just to let you know who they are. So Ms. Benedict is the Director of School Counseling and Guidance. She's also the high school counselor for last name letters beginning with B and C. Also, Ms. Vogler, she is our college and career counselor, so she can help with anything related to those two. And she is the high school counselor for letters A and then L through M. All right. So what are we going to talk about in this webinar? There are 4 points that we are going to talk about today. First point being why consider college. Next point is academic growth and personal development, followed by career opportunities and financial considerations. And then we'll end it off with long-term benefits and real-life success stories. Okay, so why consider college? Well, many jobs in the US are requiring college degrees. As we can tell based on these statistics we see here, 35% of all jobs in the US require at least a bachelor's degree. 50 to 60% of jobs require at least some type of training or certification after graduation. Earning potentials are higher based on based on college degrees or not. So high school graduates earn about $40,000 a year, and that's just the average. College graduates will earn anywhere around $65,000 a year. So we do see the $25,000 jump there. If we look at lifetime earnings, high school graduates earn about 1.6 million, and then college graduates will be somewhere around 2.8 million, which is almost over half or almost about half of lifetime earnings for college graduates. We also see that the unemployment rates for college graduates are lower, even though by a little, but they are still lower. So high school graduate unemployment rates are somewhere around 6 to 8%. Meanwhile, college graduates are 3 to 4%. And all of these statistics are being brought to you today from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, and Georgetown University Center of Education and Workforce. So these are not just random numbers that we're finding. These are actual statistics that we have found and provided for you today. All right, moving on to academic growth and personal development. So that first column is academic growth, second column is more personal development. So what academic growth can we see if you attend college? Well, you expand knowledge and your skills. Through many diverse learning opportunities found on college campuses, we can see that you are given the opportunity to study different subjects, fields of study, explore things outside of your major if you don't know what to do yet. Um, there are so many opportunities for you to find what you want to build your career on, from STEM to arts to humanities, social sciences, anything. The world is your oyster, as they say. Critical thinking and problem solving. Through the oftentimes difficult college courses that you take, you will learn to analyze information and, question assumptions and learn how to reason arguments and how to reason other things. You learn how to approach problems through many different types of assignments, which can include case studies, projects, and research. It really helps you look at problems from a different perspective, think outside the box. How can you come investigate this problem or investigate anything else from whatever perspective you didn't even think was possible before? You also have so many resources that are beyond advanced and facilities at, your fingertips, which is indicating that it's a phone. But no, there are physical physical resources and facilities on college campuses, such as laboratories and equipment. Most people don't have access to this because they're not a college student, or they're not in a degree, or they're not researching a degree or studying a degree or a major. There are so many libraries and research material and academic knowledge that is held there. So truly, you do have a lot of help there. Moving on to academic advising and mentorship. So, just like in high school, there are counselors in college that can help you on your educational path. They'll help navigate it, guide you when you need it, really help you explore career options and exploration. Also, another thing I really would like to point out is the importance of networking. As much as I don't want to sound like a finance bro, networking is helpful, especially in college. You learn to make connections with your professors, with your counselors, with other faculty members of whatever college you are looking into, and they can help you later on if you need help at a certain job, if you need help with a recommendation or anything. They can be your go-to people. So now let's look at some professional develop or personal development through growing beyond the classroom. So in college, you are moving out of your parents' home for most of you and really learning how to become an adult overnight, essentially. You have to learn how to manage not only your core schedule, but also some of you have to find part-time jobs, learn about financing, what you should spend, what you should save your money on. There's a lot of responsibility. You have to navigate and juggle your education on top of your social life and also exploring future career. It is a lot, but it is very valuable for character development. Developing social and interpersonal skills. You are in a campus full of diverse social interaction and classes, and you really have to learn how to communicate with all these people respectfully. And also through that, you are building a network of friends, peers, professors, everyone that you can think of. They will be in your life at some point or another in the future. Many of you will, if you go to college, will be leaving home, and that could be very scary. So you in colleges, college is a place for people to really build or start to build the foundations for their identity in Christ and personal value. You get exposed to a lot of new things in college, and you really have to stand your ground and learn what you are made out of, and center yourself around Christ. And a verse I have for you guys is Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So what that verse really highlights is God created each one of us to have talents, he gave us gifts. And college is a great place for you to discover that talent and that gift and really use it to build up yourself, to build up your family, your friends, the community that you're in. Colleges, just like here at Enlightium, encourage community service and giving back to the community because that is what we are called to do. Last point I wanted to talk about on this slide is emotional intelligence and resilience. So I know a lot of what I just said is scary, but as I said, it is great character development. It helps build resilience and makes you a more adaptive as a person, really helps you grow emotionally. You know, our brains don't start developing till about 25. So it's a great place for you to be gaining all that knowledge and growth from. All right. Oh, my face kind of cut it off there, but career opportunities and financial considerations. So the top row there, or top, yeah, no, top row is career opportunities, and then the bottom row is financial considerations. So let's explore it a little further. So job prospects. A lot of jobs are very specialized. They have certain skills that only are provided through a college degree. And with that skill, as we'll talk about a little later, um, you become a very valued person. So you don't really find that anywhere else other than college or additional training post graduation from high school. We already talked about increased earning in the why consider college slide, but here I want to talk about a little bit more about bonuses and benefits. They are amazing. Bonuses, they're just that little extra cash that you weren't expecting, but you got anyway. So, it shows that you are a valued employee, a valued person, valued educated college graduate. And benefits are amazing. Anything from health insurance to dental, life insurance, whatever benefits your job offers. I once was offered a gym membership to this really nice gym in Spokane, Washington from one of the jobs that I worked at, and it was amazing. The gym was expensive, and I used it because obviously it was a great benefit to have. We're also going to talk about a little bit how bonuses and benefits help when we talk about long-term benefits and whatnot. So put a pin in that. Job security. There as well, you hopefully each one of you has certain skills and knowledge that cannot be replaced. In college, those skills will be nurtured and you'll be able to grow and expand in your craft on that. And those skills simply cannot be replaced. I know there's a lot of talk about AI coming in and replacing a lot of people, a lot of jobs. We are, calm down. We are years from that. So there are certain jobs that simply will not be able to be replaced by AI. And I'm not talking about, a burger flipper at McDonald's, which if that's your vibe, that's your vibe, jive with it. But really, there some of these careers are not going to be replaced. And you guys, I believe that some of you guys do have those skills to be able to fill them and be confident in them, be great at those jobs. All right. Let's look at financial considerations. So, cost of college, tuition varies on the type of student you are, what type of school you're looking into. Usually, private schools will have a bumper or not bumper sticker, a price sticker saying this is how much our tuition is, and it doesn't change on based on anything. And that's how much you will pay. Sometimes, most likely, public schools, the tuition will change based on the type of student you are. Whether you're an in-state or out-of-state student, meaning you're living in the state of that institution or out of the state. Um, and that does change. The price for that, based on just some averages that I looked up, tuition can be anywhere from ten to $35,000. Um, and that could be covered by financial aid, or that can help covering that can come from financial aid or scholarships or loans or grants, whatever it is. Start doing your research now. I suggest reaching out to your counselor if you have any more questions about that, or if you're feeling worried. Start planning now. It doesn't hurt, and you'll be ready for it when it comes. Room and board. So I know some colleges require, or some colleges and universities require freshman students to live on campus. That's just a requirement they have. And so you got to know those prices. You got to know what you're paying and why you're paying it. And then if you're not required to live on campus, most of you guys will probably be moving away for college. So finding somewhere nearby to live also adds up to the price of college. The prices I found for room and board are typically around ten to $15,000 per year. And then the last thing I want to talk about is books and supplies. So books and supplies can add up really quickly. Um, Average I found per year that students spend is about $1,200. There are many trips. There are many what are the words? I'm fumbling over words here. Tips and tricks. There we go. There's a lot that you can look up on how to save on books and supplies, uh, ebooks, used books. Maybe your professor is kind enough to provide just like a PDF of the textbook you need for for the class, or you come together with your classmates and just, you know, decide to chip in all for textbooks and whatnot. You got to look into these things. There's a lot. It is a lot, but you can save on a lot. You can cut corners on costs there. And I know supplies for a lot of medical professions, they require you to get some type of additional, I don't even know, medical supplies. I know some trade programs, they require you, some of them provide tools, but they encourage you to start buying your own tools if you're going into a certain trade. So yeah, that is the career opportunities and financial consideration slide. Moving on to long-term benefits. So first point I would like to talk about is the economic stability. So college degrees, as I said before, they're very specialized. Their skill is valued, and through that valued skill, which some of you guys may possess, comes stability. And then through that career stability of no, well, they can't replace me because I am a valued person, comes economic stability. So you start earning good, which is what we talked about earlier. You start earning good money, which you can then start putting away for future stability, such as purchasing a home or starting a family or a car or even nice vacations. I don't know whatever, whatever you would like to do with that money, it really helps build that stability for you. Career satisfaction. So this is a very important long-term benefit that a lot of people don't talk about. Um, there's an old saying that goes along the line, I'm not exactly sure the wording, but it goes along the lines of find what you love to do for work and you'll never work a day in your life, which is true. I am not that old. At least I don't think I am. I'm in my mid 20s. Um, so I'm not experienced enough to say that this is valid, but it kind of is because I am currently a high school counseling assistant studying to be a high school counselor. And I come to work and every day it doesn't feel like a job because I love doing what I do, coming to work and supporting you guys academically, emotionally, whatever you guys need. And I genuinely am happy to do it. I get satisfaction out of knowing that I'm doing what I'm meant to do, what I'm called to do. Um, and when you align your career with your interests and your goals in life, life seems to get a little bit more colorful, you know? It's not as dull. You don't hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I woke up, it's another Monday, got to get to the office," or whatnot. Um, just something to consider. And the last thing I want to talk about, which ties into career satisfaction in and the bonuses that we put a pin in the last slide, is health and well-being. So through bonuses and benefits such as health insurance, you get access to healthcare, which hopefully you are using to become a more healthy and better person. Also, if you're mentally satisfied with your job, then you tend to be more happier mentally. And studies have shown that college graduates have healthier lifestyles and live healthier lives, just because they're able to do the things that really align with who they are as people. All right. Last slide. Yes, I believe. We're going to talk about some real life success stories. Some of you guys may know these people, some of you guys may not, and that is okay. We are going to learn a little bit about them. If you want to look more deeper into these two individuals, I suggest you do so. They're very inspiring, very interesting people. And I provided one of the people I provided here did finish her degree and went on to do amazing things with her several degrees. Excuse me, actually, it wasn't just a bachelor's degree. She went on to do college multiple times. Um, and she's currently using it for what she is doing. And then the other person, he did go to college, but he didn't end up graduating. However, the education he received in college did help him later on in life in a very impactful way. So the first person we're going to talk about is Sonia Sotomayor. I'm not exactly sure how to say her last name. I did Google how to pronounce it. So apologies if I say it incorrectly, but Sotomayor. That sounds about right. She is the first Latina U.S. Supreme Court justice. And a little background on her that I found is that she was born in the Bronx, New York, to a working class Puerto Rican family. And she endured and faced a lot of challenges in her early life, from her father dying to her mom constantly working and them just generally not having a lot of money growing up. Um, she decided to, from a very young age, to be a determined student and earn high marks in schools, which then helped her in life because she was able to attend Princeton, an Ivy League school, on a full ride scholarship, which is that is a lot of money. She graduated in 1967 from that, and then later on went to Yale Law School, another Ivy League school. I don't know if I don't know if she got a scholarship for that one, but she was able to earn her JD degree, which is similar to a PhD, but a little different. Both very grueling and very uh, strenuous in their own way. So she started working in law, and from that, slowly worked her way up to be a U.S. Supreme Court justice, which is an amazing achievement. While in college, she learned how to work her way and network really well with seemingly wealthy peers. Because remember, she was there on scholarship. Meanwhile, most of her peers at Princeton just had the money to cover for tuition and whatnot. She was able to learn how to navigate through that, be resilient and confident enough to get herself a seat at the table to show everyone at Princeton that she is deserving to be there and she is going to do great things with her college degree. Um, there are a lot of accomplishments that she has made, and I urge you to go and look into them. But based on what I'm seeing or based on what I found, she's an inspiration to so many people, not only being the first Latina U.S. Supreme Court justice, but just breaking the mold and really showing resilience that even though she came from the bottom, she is able to do great stuff. The next person I want to talk about, and that is partly because she went to pursue a college degree. Sorry, just wanted to add that. Steve Jobs. So many of you guys know that he is the former CEO and co-founder of Apple. He went to Reed College in Portland, Oregon in 1972, but he dropped out 6 months later. Um, However, the courses that or no, he did continue to attend for about 18 months after graduating, and he would just audit courses, which is something you're allowed to do, where you're not a student, but you're allowed to attend courses just to gain knowledge. They're not going to give you a degree for that, but you're allowed to spectate in a way. If that's what you want to call it. Based on what he saw at college and what he learned, he was able to then apply that to his vision of Apple. And one thing I found very interesting was that he attended a calligraphy class, which he then took uh, to design typography and design for Apple, which is amazing. There are many skills and a lot of knowledge that you gain from these college courses and from a college degree that you won't find anywhere else, and then you can go and create something as big as Apple, which is a conglomerate, if you will, in today's world. Even though he didn't get a degree, I still think it is important to highlight that from college, Steve did gain a lot of knowledge and did a lot with his life. Both of these people are sort of outliers. They are at the top of what they do essentially. And I don't want to say I don't want to give a false promise that everyone that sees this webinar is gonna go to do great things and be well known. You might do great things and not be well known, and that's okay too. Work in the silence, work in the shadows, as long as you're doing something that is meaningful to you and you are centering it in your identity in Christ, then that is all that matters. Um, I believe that each and every one of you that does watch this webinar will go on to do a lot of great things with your life. And maybe one day you'll reach out or make a statement saying, I remember Mr. Buldenko, he helped inspire me, which I'm not expecting it, but it would be nice to hear. this young in my career. Okay. And then we've reached the end of the webinar. Hopefully it wasn't too long and I wasn't babbling too much. If you have any more questions, please, please, please reach out to your counselors. Here I listed all the counselors we have based on their last names. So Miss Vogler for A and then L through M, Miss Benedict for B through C, Miss Whitaker for D through G, and then Miss McCune for H through K and W. Miss Van Egdom, I think that's how you say her last name. She has a very interesting last name. N through R, that is her students. And then Miss Wade for S through V and X through Z. And then Miss Thompson for bronze students. And then me. I said my name there, but I don't know how else to identify my students because they're my own little group. Yeah, please pause this slide if you need to. Uh, Go see what your last name is if you don't know it. Find your counselor, email them if you have any other questions. We thank you so much for watching this webinar, and all of us here at Enlightium are praying and hoping that you guys all go do whatever it is you're going to do and be the best at it as long as it is what you want to do. So thank you again and have a great day.